welcome to Cinema Wellman. I'm your host, David, and we have another special guest with us in studio this week as we are joined by Nora. Nora, sweetie, come up here. Sit on the seat. Come up, sit next to me. No, this way. Keeps going the other way. Well, she's going to join us. Nora's family went on a trip to the UK, and she's been hanging out here all week at Cinema Wellman, and we've been watching dog movies. I haven't taken care of a dog since I was 14 years old. Shout out to Coco, who was definitely a good boy. So I was a little nervous, but Nora's such an easy dog to take care of. I honestly had nothing to be nervous about. Nora, come around. Come around. Go this way. Go around here. She's right here. Around here. Here. This is going to work. Right up here on the seat. Sit up here. Here we go. Here we go. That's what I mean. This is Nora. All right. So, since this was going to be a newish experience for me, I figured Nora and I would watch only dog movies during her stay. And I found 9 dog movies that were new to me. Not sure if Nora had seen any of them since she didn't really mention it. The 10th slot in today's episode will be a quick salute to some of our all-time favorite dog movies here at Cinema Wellman. But first, the new dog movies we screened together. Right, Nora? Here we go. I thought I was a tough critic, but I never watched 9 movies with Nora. She's very sweet, but she's a harsh critic of canine cinema. Aren't you, my sweetie? All right, we're going to start with Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey from 1993. It's rated G. It's 84 minutes. IMDb says 6.9, and is directed by Dwayne Dunham. To begin with, this movie and its sequel feature talking dogs. The dogs don't talk to humans, but they talk to each other in perfect English. And yet they don't understand that same language when it's spoken to them by humans. Nora and I looked at each other, and she suggested I get one of those little green bags we take on our walks, because that's some dog poop right there. One of the dogs in the movie says he doesn't like TV. He says, quote, "It's not real because you can't smell it." I'm thinking that's one of the reasons why Nora wasn't interested in a lot of these movies. She'd get excited when I asked her a question about dog behavior, but she didn't offer much in way of a response. Then in this talking movie, they sometimes understand humans, so make up your mind movie. There is a cat with them, voiced by the wonderful Sally Field, named Sassy. Remember Sassy? The animals get put in a pound at one point, and when they walk Sassy down the row, think of it as like dog prison. What do we hear from the other animals there? Cat calls. So some of this was clever. It was just sappy enough to tug at my heartstrings, and the main dogs were voiced by Michael J. Fox and Don Amici, along with Sally Field as the cat. So I was glad that I watched it, right? Nora gave it 2 out of 4 paws. Next, we watched the sequel. We don't like sequels, do we, Nora? 1996's Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco. Rated G again, 88 minutes, 5.9 on IMDb, directed by David R. Ellis. Yes, it's that David R. Ellis who directed 2 of the Final Destination movies. I love when that happens. This is a sequel, and it's one of those sequels that doesn't bring anything new to the dog dish. Same cast other than Don Amici, who left us between productions and was replaced by Pa Walton, Ralph Waite, and a bit of the same kind of adventure as the dogs get lost. Instead of the wilderness, this time, it's in San Francisco. Did you like that? We liked San Francisco. One of Nora and my first thoughts were, there's no way this many abandoned animals would be able to wander around San Francisco for this amount of time. In any event, they do wander around San Francisco, and they meet new street dogs, which is kind of fun. Michael J. Fox's chants got a tad annoying at times since 98% of his lines involve food and food jokes. They trot out Al Michaels, Bob Uecker, and Tommy Lasorda as dogs calling a softball game, which I enjoyed. Nora was like, who are they supposed to be? When I explained, she was like, I don't know who those people are. There's an abandoned dog subplot in this one. Someone abandons a puppy in a cardboard box on the side of the road in the rain? Who does that? I tried to distract Nora from seeing that scene. Humans are really meaningless in both of these movies. Poor Kim Greist and Robert Hayes. Nobody's here for you. San Francisco does look great, as usual, so that was nice. The dog catchers were one-dimensional idiots who were also litter bugs and arsonists who keep telling the dogs that they're going to the lab, and one of them wants to murder the dogs. It's okay. The dexterity of these animals and what they're able to accomplish without opposable thumbs in these movies is impressive. Sassy opens doors to vans, doesn't she, Nora? And she's a cat. And they also put that van in reverse so it drives off a pier. Good doggies. This was a sequel that didn't need to be made, which I can say about 95% of the sequels. Nora said, 1.5 paws. Been there, done that. Next, we decided to check out a couple of animated dog movies to see if they were also able to open doors and such. Wait, they fly helicopters? Here we go. Paw Patrol, the movie from 2021. 86 minutes, 6.1 by IMDb, and directed by Cal Bunker. This begins with a truck driver swerving to avoid a turtle in the road, jackknifing the double fuel tanker truck on a bridge, causing major damage. In real life, that turtle would have been so flat. So, if we're to understand this whole Paw Patrol universe, the animals are law enforcement, fire, and rescue in Adventure City, but there are actual humans. Are there humans living there too, Nora? Humans. And they trust the dogs? Why would you trust animals, no offense, to do such important jobs when there are humans around who have, opposable thumbs? Even Nora scoffed at this. Quote, I'm not flying a helicopter, the same dumb human who should have known better. End quote. I think that's what you said, isn't it, Nora? I think I wrote that down correctly. She then gave it a rather pedestrian 2 paws. Next up was from 1989, All Dogs Go to Heaven. Rated G, 84 minutes, IMDb 6.7, directed by Don Bluth. Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise, and Lonnie Anderson. Where's the rest of the cast of Cannonball Run? Right off the bat, Burt Reynolds' character Charlie gets hit by a car and killed. Yikes. Oh, Burt Reynolds cannot sing. Not sure why they asked him to even try. I love that Charles Nelson Riley voiced one of the dogs, and he was given oversized glasses. This is really point blank with animated dogs. Charlie is seeking revenge against the mob boss, Carface, who killed him. The little girl is able to talk to animals, and there's zero explanation, and the songs are awful. I know this is a kid's movie, but why is it set in 1939 New Orleans? Is that something a kid watching in 1989 would understand? How about an adult watching in 2024, for that matter? When the dogs were barking at one point, Nora looked up and then turned around. I totally understand your actions there, Nora. She gave this 1 paw. Why did dogs throw punches like humans? They don't walk on their hind legs, so why would they? There was a sequel that I did not put us through. Not sure why that was made. Exactly. 8 Below is next from 2006, PG. 2 hours, 7.3 on IMDb, directed by Frank Marshall. Ever since I enjoyed teaching The Call of the Wild to 8th graders for years and years, I love a good sled dog story. Noble beasts. Nora actually sat near the stairs and watched some of this. Great dog actors, and I enjoyed a movie where they didn't talk. Paul Walker is pretty good. Actually, I think he was a talented actor. Too bad he's forever linked with the Fast and the Furious franchise, in my opinion. He deserved better than that. Walker actually did 1 episode each of Who's the Boss and Charles in Charge. Let's remember him for that instead. Talk about film legacy. This film also features Jason Biggs. If you've seen American Pie, you know exactly what Jason Biggs is famous for. The dogs in this film are excellent actors. There's a scene where one is trying to convince his friend to keep going that is so sweet and tender. There's also a death scene where all the dogs pay their respects to their friends. Come on! This is a good movie, but no need to be 2 hours long. But Nora did give it 3 paws. Paul Walker, his character lives in a Lethal Weapon trailer near the beach, a dead giveaway of a character in severe turmoil. Kudos to these dogs living on their own in Antarctica without humans for 175 days. Well done. Next, we did 2 sled dog movies. Togo from 2019, PG, 113 minutes, 7.9 on IMDb, directed by Erickson Core. I love Willem Dafoe. This was a nice, true story, a dogography of a heroic dog who helped deliver a serum to sick children in 1929 Alaska. But it was way more effects driven than I imagined it would be, especially after I just watched Eight Below, which wasn't. That film may have used effects, but they weren't obvious. Way too much and over the top in Togo. If you want to create that harrowing atmosphere safely, just make it animated. I'd be fine with that. Not that this is a bad movie, but Nora looked away even when the dogs were barking and causing a ruckus. She didn't like the effects either. 2 paws. Next, we have Strays from 2023. That's rated R. 93 minutes. IMDb says 6.3, directed by Josh Greenbaum. This is the only R-rated movie on today's list, and they earned every bit of it. Strays is very raunchy, and it's also very funny at times. I thought it was really funny when they were talking about settling down to sleep, and all they do is wander around in circles before sitting down in the same exact spot where they started. And Nora does the same thing. Will Ferrell is good as the clueless dog, Reggie, who thinks his owner is great, even though he's absolutely horrible. He's played by Will Forte. There's an odd Dennis Quaid cameo for no apparent reason. There's a squirrel 3-way, which I think I added to our band list years ago. Once again, the dog actors are really talented. It's amazing how they can be trained and follow commands as well as they do. There's a scene where the dogs eat mushrooms and think they find a nest of stuffed animals while they're tripping. Turns out they weren't stuffed animals. The reactions the next morning were funny. Tripping dogs? Yeah, you don't see that in a Disney movie. There's a scene I can only describe as a penis scene, and Nora turned to me with a lowest common denominator look on her face, and I had to agree with her. I laughed out loud when one of the dogs said, "Invisible magic fences! I swear to God that's real," and no one would believe him. There was a poop scene that made me a little nauseous. There was a Hitler joke. Wrecking Ball was played during the assault on Reggie's owner, and there were some extremely graphic threats made against a mailman. Jamie Foxx, Ilsa Fisher, Rob Riggle, and Josh Gad voiced some of the dogs, and Sofia Vergara is the voice of Dolores the Couch. I am not making that up. One of my favorite lines was, "That was more graphic than I expected." Yes, yes it was. Nora gave it 3 paws. You gonna sit down, Nora? What are you doing? Hey, we got a couple more. We got Must Love Dogs. Remember Must Love Dogs, the rom-com from 2005, PG-13, 98 minutes, 5.9 says IMDb. Gary David Goldberg directed. Okay, so this is a rom-com, and we here at Cinema Wellman tend to loathe rom-coms, and this one stars John Cusack, and John Cusack is John Cusack, and if you love or hate John Cusack, you know exactly what I mean by saying that. But Must Love Dogs also stars friend of Cinema Wellman Diane Lane, so all bets are off. Nora and I agreed that the movie is 1 paw at best, but Diane Lane is 4 paws. All 4 paws. And last but not least, the movie that we watched today, because you're going home tomorrow, we watched 2019's The Art of Racing in the Rain, PG, 109 minutes, 7.6 on IMDb, directed by Simon Curtis. Wait, is the dog dying? That's what they're starting with? They started that? Not 5 minutes into this? They had me crying? Crying till I realized that the narrator dog, Enzo, is voiced by Kevin Costner. Not a fan. Where is Sam Elliott when you need him? This is not what I signed up for. Spoilers coming in case you haven't seen this. They let off with the dog dying, then the mom dies, the mom parents are shitty to the dad, and they sue for custody of the daughter. There's an assault charge. Oh, and there's a hallucination involving a stuffed zebra. Did you like that? No, I didn't like that. I really got tired of Costner early. Everything about him just grates on me. I did like the dog when he wasn't speaking. Enzo is a narrator dog, and those dogs are made fun of by the dogs in Strays, and rightfully so. More spoilers. Enzo dies, and he's reincarnated as a little Italian boy who loves racing and thinks Driver Dad is the best driver ever. Stop it, movie. Just stop it. Nora wasn't as affected. Gave it 2 paws. Before we go, I just wanted to mention some of Cinema Wellman's all-time favorite dog movies that we almost screened for this episode before deciding to go all new. Maybe next time you visit, we're going to watch some of those. What do you think about that? Yes? Here we go. For dog horror, you can't go wrong with Cujo, even though the movie changes the entire ending. The Sandlot may not be a dog movie, but features a wonderful dog who plays a big part in that heartwarming story. A young Tom Hanks is the human half of Turner and Hooch, as the detective who needs a gigantic slobbering dog to help him catch a killer. We love Wes Anderson here at Cinema Wellman, and Isle of Dogs is an amazing stop-action animation movie about a boy searching for his lost dog. You want dog sci-fi? A little post-apocalyptic story involving a dog? Then you need to see A Boy and His Dog, starring a young Don Johnson and his telepathic dog Blood wandering the wasteland. And the dog who plays Blood is the same dog that played Tiger on the Brady Bunch. You got to love that versatility. Great ending to that one, too. Yum. And finally, for top-notch dog comedy that pokes fun at dog lovers, you need to see Christopher Guest's Best in Show, that IMDb says is a behind-the-scenes look into the highly competitive and cutthroat world of dog shows through the eyes of a group of ruthless dog owners. Fred Willard, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, Jennifer Coolidge, Michael McKean, and Christopher Guest certainly earned top honors in this hysterical film. It's well worth a chance if you get to see it. See it with a friend, like I saw all of these films with my friend Nora. Right, Nora? It was so fun having Nora visit for a week of screening dog movies on a TV that wasn't real to her because she couldn't smell it. You're a good sport. You can visit anytime. It was so fun having her here, and that's a wrap. That's a wrap from Cinema Wellman for as we go to the dogs with our visitor. We hope you'll be back again next week, and maybe you'll watch it. You've seen the show before. No guest, unfortunately, just me, but I hope you'll join me for one of our And Introducing episodes. And next week, we will look at Oscar winners who were given the And Introducing credit. We hope to see you again next week. And until then, take care and be a good girl. Right?